like. Groovy podcast hosted by inebriated people. That's Kai with the cracking voice and Heather's touched by evil. One thinks he's Spider-Man, the other is a ninja. It's the Man I Love Fun podcast, it's the MILFcast.
Hello everyone! Hello and welcome to another MILFcast mini edition. I am your host Kai. This is the Man I Love Fun podcast mini. Joining me as always is the potatoes to my eggs, the bakes to my Aiken.
I'm a tater, precious.
The bunky to my dolls. Give it up for Heather Baxendale. Say hello, Heather.
Hello. You know, sometimes I feel low of energy and a little bit tired before we start the stream. And then I hear our theme song and I just get woohoo. Makes me pleasant.
It does make me happy too. It's one of those things too, like every day when we have this coming up, I'm always like a little like reticent when I'm busy. I'm like, oh, I can't stop and do that right now, but like I enjoy doing it. So once I get here, everything's fine. Oh, I have a big cut. Got a monster cut on my arm out of nowhere. Do you ever get cuts out of nowhere?
All the time.
Okay, I look like
all the time.
Kruger sliced me like wrist to elbow.
Let me see that again.
I don't want to show it. It's like, see it?
But I like boo-boos. Let me see it. Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And you didn't even notice it when it was happening.
No recollection of how it happened at all. Just woke up and fought Kruger in my sleep, I'm guessing.
It does happen. I'm not as bad as I was when I was younger, but I'm usually full of bruises, scrapes, and ouchies. I bump into things a lot and I don't always register pain immediately. So it's one of those things. Or occasionally I'm at least wise enough to tell Mike or someone who's in the room, hey, in 3 days when I'm asking where this bruise or scrape or mark comes from, please remind me that it was just now.
That you punched me.
That happens sometimes.
So let's deal with like a little bit of housekeeping.
I feel like we should have a song for that now.
I'm working on it.
Kind of fun intro.
I'm not going to Steve Bush for it. I'm outsourcing. So here's the thing. We have first of all, let me say hello to Globly Lovely, Mrs. Kiderman, Tapeworm, and the Bedbug in the chat. As always, love those guys. So we have the Milfy Awards coming up Sunday night. We're probably taking Wednesday off. Honestly, we talked about doing a Tuesday show, but Heather's going camping. If she goes camping and has access to Wi-Fi in some capacity, we'll do the show. But if not, we're probably taking the week off because I'm prepping for a show right now. I've got the 626 night market coming up in 3 weeks, and I got to get stuff to print. So I'll be doing that. And then we've got some other surprises coming up. I'm not going to get too into it right now. We reached out to another guest, and we haven't heard back. And it was weird because it was proposed to us. It's not something we sought out, but he was a very interesting guest. So we're changing the guest order a little bit, but I have somebody good in mind. So we'll get back to you guys on that. But so that's pretty much it for housekeeping. Other than on Mother's Day, I led with Happy Mother's Day, and I haven't heard a peep out of you.
Told you Happy Father's Day.
When?
Today when we were talking.
We didn't start talking until like a few minutes ago.
Oh, in person? Or is this in person?
Not in person.
Well, okay. Well, I text you, so I apologize that I did not say Happy Father's Day before I said hello.
And happy to all the fathers out there, if any are in the chat. We appreciate you guys. Father's Day is a weird one because I feel like Mother's Day is there's. And don't get me wrong, the mom, when it comes to like birthing and taking care of children, the mother is the number one, the core thing, the must-have. The thing that needs to be around for the child's development. I believe that. A good father is important, but there's a nurturing aspect to the mother that children need. But I feel like Mother's Day gets way more props than Father's Day. It's like Mother's Day is like, take her out to eat, get her roses, get her chocolate, do the whole nine, send her to the spa. And I feel like Dad's Day, you get like a leaf blower.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but I don't pay that much attention. I was just going to say, I don't pay that much attention to what other people do either because I don't care. My Mother's Days usually aren't spectacular in any way, shape, or form. I don't even often get cards or things like that. And that's fine with me also. However, today we did some Mike stuff. We went to shops he wanted to go to.
Like
we did the stuff he wanted to do.
What shops?
Well, actually, there is a new dispensary that's like 5 minutes away from here. So I took him to the dispensary so he could go look at their stuffs. We went there, and then we swung by my dad's place, and we said Happy Father's Day to him because he lives right by it.
Say that one more time. Where'd you guys go again? I saw a funny thing in the chat, which I'll come back to, but...
Okay. We went to, we had a recreational dispensary that opened up around here a while ago that we were both been wanting to just go check out and see, and Mike has been really wanting to go. So I took him today, and we did happy things. We
After
went
the
shopping.
dispensary?
That was before. I don't smoke the weed every day. I don't smoke the weed, guys. I smoked enough weed when I was younger. I do not need to smoke it now.
I don't smoke weed, but I also don't hang out in dispensaries.
We didn't hang out. We went and made a purchase.
Oh, what did you buy? What did you buy?
I don't know. He bought something.
Oh.
Some kind of herbal thing, and I got some sleep stuff for me.
Okay.
But it was really nice. I mean, it's really strange that that's just the regular legal thing that you can just go walk right into and do. I'm like, are we going to jail now?
It is weird, but it's weird because it's stupid, because it should have been legal years ago. It's so much
I
for the
totally
fucking
agree.
drinking.
I totally agree with that. 100%. And they were really cautious with the way they did everything too. Like you give your ID, you have to go sit down and wait till you're called to go in. You have one employee that walks around with you and shows you the things. You're not allowed to touch anything. I touched something.
You're not supposed to do that.
Something.
That was in the rules you laid out in the beginning.
I'm the pirate who's not allowed to touch anything.
Here's my question: is that COVID related, that there's only one person allowed at a time, or is that just because?
No, there was people in there, but it was one person per employee.
Okay.
So I think partial, and they are still requiring masks there, which I think is also because they do medicinal, and they're going to have people that are sick in there. So I think that's part of the reason they're still requiring masks, because Michigan just opened up a couple days ago. There's no more restrictions. But it was, I think it's just their rules. I don't know. I've never been in one before, so I don't have a clue. I've been in head shops before, but they obviously aren't like that.
They have shops where you can get head?
And it was super. You know what a head shop is, but you actually, it helps you get head.
Never call them head shops because of that reason, personally.
Well, I've used that because I've heard with Midwest colloquialisms, sometimes other terms don't work.
Oh, I wasn't even
triggered.
Actually. Where is it? God damn it.
But that one seems like an across the board one that everyone calls it. It's like party stores here. Everybody calls them different things across the country. We all have our names for
Heather's Midwest
colloquialisms.
Cannot say that goddamn word. There's crickets too, as if it's not interesting. But I feel son of a bitch.
But it was kind of weird. But yeah, he's wanted to go, so we went there today, and then we went and did some prep for camping. And
what is prep for camping? Making sure you have the same number of knives plus 10 that you have in your.
By the way, I was
drawer?
thinking today too. I found another knife in my drawer that I forgot I had.
That sounds about right.
It's a little marine knife too. It's cool.
I hate when I lose knives in my desk full of knives.
Well, it's actually with the keys right here. So I have keys, and it was buried with the keys, so I missed this one.
Do you remember that scene in Saw 2 when the girl has to dive into the hypodermic needles and find the keys? That's what I feel like finding your knife.
Oh, that was brutal. But yeah, that's where this could be. It's just a little
pool
Swiss.
Full of
it's just a little U.S. Marine Corps one, and it's nice.
Oh,
anyway,
no
I've had that one. I've had that one for like 20 years. But yeah, it was cool. It was fun. We were just busy today. And camping, yeah, we have long lists of things that we prepare for. And we started a group chat that has to be driving my dad insane.
Okay, are there
my brother just keeps giving the middle finger to every time we keep updating.
Are there bears where you're gonna go camping?
Yes, we have to carry firearms. They're very close to camp. They weren't always, but in the last few years, yes.
All right, let me point out a couple things in the chat real quick, and then I'll get back to this because I want to talk about bears. First of all, Lovely, in respect to Father's Day, said the sexism is real. I hope that wasn't in reference to my comments, but the holiday. Mim2, who I can never pronounce. Father's Day is there because we have Mother's Day and we like equality. It's a bad joke, but it's funny. Tapeworm says he wants to fight a bear. I don't want to fight a bear. I don't want to see a bear.
Tapeworm doesn't actually want to fight a bear. Nobody wants to fight a bear.
No, he wants to fight a bear in the sense that he's a faceless person on a Twitch chat.
Maybe.
I'll fight a bear in a Twitch chat. I'll debate him on hot tubs.
I can't imagine anyone other than Brad Pitt in Legends of the Fall wanting to fight a bear. And that's great. The bread bug. If I fought a bear, he would punch me and call me stupid. Well, I don't think there would be time for anyone to be called anything. Unless maybe that was Yogi Bear. He might call you stupid. Yogi Bear's kind of a douche.
Here's my experiences with bears. Yogi.
Yogi.
That movie, The Edge, with Alec Baldwin. Probably some Will Ferrell movie.
Smokey the Bear.
Smokey counts. My favorite bear.
Smokey is way more intense in person.
Marvo the Bear is my favorite. There's that video they just posted online of that 16-year-old girl pushing one off a fucking wall because they got near her dogs. And I was like telling my wife, I'd be like, sorry guys, we're only gonna have 2 dogs after today. My bad. Did you see that video?
No.
Okay,
I
so
did not.
a bear, and I believe they said their cubs were there, but I was too entranced on the main bear. Basically, it's crawling up on like a 6-foot, 5-foot wall to jump into a backyard. And these little tiny midget dogs like mine run up to the wall underneath the bear and like, "Row, row," and it even like swipes at them, right? And this woman comes running out that I assume was 65 years old, and she shoves the bear off the
save her
fucking wall.
dog?
Yeah, and then scrambles to get the dog. Doesn't grab the dog and haul ass. Doesn't grab 2 dogs and haul ass. Scrambles to get all 3. Then goes in the house. Meanwhile, now, denim skirt. I'm pretty sure it was a turtleneck with a vest situation. Assume she was a 65-year-old woman. See the article the next day. 16-year-old girl pushes bear off of wall. And I was like, holy shit. I assume she had grandchildren. Now, I should have known because she's agile as fuck. She pushed a bear off a goddamn wall. But I thought she was like 60. I swear to God.
Still crazy. Okay, you know how much I love my cat. I'm not getting between a bear and the cat.
Take the cat. Spare me.
Now I'm
Take
going to be
Heather's
very
cat.
sad about it. I'm going to be very sad about it. I'm going to be depressed, but I'm going to be alive.
This is exactly why I don't have cats.
And well, you have dogs too.
I don't want to deal with bears.
A couple years ago, I went down to Savannah to
What's her name?
run a race.
Where'd you meet her?
I didn't.
Oh, sorry. I'm in a situation where my children know 9 girls named Savannah, and I can't tell them apart.
Okay, that makes me really happy because I went through a stage where I really loved that name for a girl, and then I didn't name anyone Savannah. So it worked out for me because now I'm not a big fan of it as a name. Probably because it's everywhere. Anyway, Savannah, the city, went down there, stayed with some friends, and they live in this lovely community. And they're telling us about the gators in the creek behind us and that they're just everywhere. And it's this beautiful gated community, and there's just gators that are hanging out. I'm like, they're just chilling out there? Like, we can go on the lanai and one might come in the backyard, and they're like,
Gators?
Yeah. And then they were saying, it was really cold at the time because I think it was February or March when I went there, or maybe it was December. I don't remember. It was cold in Michigan when we went. So they said, they don't really come out and move around as much. But what had happened earlier that year was a woman, an elderly woman, was walking her little dog.
Naturally.
Gator came out, got the dog, attacked the woman, or the woman tried to save the dog. Woman died.
Yeah.
Gator killed. Ate doggy, killed grandma, and that's dead.
Okay, this is my opinion.
You don't mess with the gator, you don't mess with the bear. I mean, it's cool.
You either need to have a mastiff that is not going to be eaten by an alligator, or, my bad, I walked my dog in vicinity of a gator. I'm not fighting the gator for my dog. Like, it winged it, it's still chomping, it's slipping. Maybe I reach out, I grab the paw, I pull it away. But if I'm like fighting John, I don't know, man. And I love my dogs.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm being realistic, though.
Unless you're Betty White, that's a good call. Aztec fan, that's a good call.
Yes, Aztec fan. That's pretty.
And
solid.
I would wrestle a gator for Betty White. I'll put that out there too.
I would as well. I think if all of us are good Americans, that we would, or good people in general. But yeah, I just can't see myself doing that. As much as I love my animals and whatnot. And there are certain things, like in particular, I have a fear of bears, which I think is more about respect for the animal than about my actual fear. Okay, I know that when I'm carrying in the woods, if I have to pull, the bear is going to go down. The last freaking thing I want on the planet is to hurt a bear. I don't want to hurt the bear. I'm going into the bear's house. It's his place. It's not mine. It's his neighborhood. I'm crossing into his or her territory, and I don't want to do anything to the bear.
By the way,
but I'm gonna if my life's in danger or my dragons. But that's about the only occasion. Otherwise, I'm out of there if I can get out of there.
By the way, middle-aged old man in the chat had a dad joke that made me laugh, and it's Gator's gonna gate. It's stupid as fuck, and happy Father's Day, you guys. That's as fatherly as they come.
Yeah, he's pretty good at the dad jokes. Tapeworm says Andrew wants to know what you talk about on your podcast.
Fighting
Not
bears?
an effing thing, Andrew. Just bears.
Fighting bears, really.
Bears,
Yeah,
beats, and Battlestar
yeah.
Galactica. That's it.
We had some thoughts on where the show should go, but tonight it took a turn, and now I'm really just about. I need to be prepared for bears.
It's exactly it. Oh, hey, speaking of, and knives and stuff, Kai, I brought something to the show to show you today.
Oh, it's show and yell. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
it's show and yell. I have an educational moment here.
This is what I
My
brought!
husband- Look what I got. Look. Okay. So Andrew did not say F you, tapeworm, but thank you.
What happened?
This is my utility belt. Or this one happens to be one of my running apparatuses here. Woo! So you wear it like this. Kai has been wondering how I carry all of this crap when I'm running. How I have room for knives and how I have room for all these other things. See, I feel like Sigourney Weaver strapping this in every
Because,
time.
like, in
my
fairness,
head.
in fairness, you run a lot. You run, like, marathon levels when you're not injured.
Yes.
You run, like, a shit ton. So,
Yeah.
when you say I carry, like, multiple things and a knife, I just assume you're snugging it in the yoga pant on the side.
Oh, even so, I could. Okay, so even that right now, I have on these.
Naturally.
So they have little. Can you see? Can you
It's
see?
it's COVID. We're all wearing those. I'm wearing those.
Okay.
Mine are
so
red.
we've got the little yogas. We got these here. So I have a knife right in here. Hey, buddy. There's my knife. It can go right there too. That's fine. No big deal.
Is that a butterfly?
A butterfly.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's not. There's nothing
So-
cool on a butterfly knife. I wish all things were like a butterfly knife. I wish I had to do 3 things that I had to practice in order to open all things. Like, you want some
great.
Chex Mix? You got to learn to do this fucking cool move, and you can have as much as you
Got to
want.
learn all sorts of stuff. But I've got all kinds of zippers here, full of things. It's delightful.
So this is
I
the
have-
utility belt, basically.
This is the big one. This is the one I take on the long runs.
That's
I've got goo
KY
here.
jelly for when the thighs rub together or something.
Oh, no. That's, you put that on beforehand. You can use KY. KY won't work because it won't last long enough. And then if it rains, then it'll come down.
Lasts long
Vaseline
enough for
actually
me.
works the best.
Doesn't take long.
Vaseline works great. And it's cheap.
Have you
You
tried the
can
his
buy
and hers?
Glide. You can buy Glide, which they also have a Glide that is a lubricant for sexy time. But there's also one that's for runners. In the back here, I have, Kai's going to particularly love this part. Okay, this is just another supplement. That's a honey waffle stinger. Those are good. I've got a couple of those. And in here, this is what we have that's very important. This is a weathered Star Wars bag, but in it has wipes, toilet paper, and a
those wipes
$5
are
bill.
old. Those wipes are dry because that's Kylo
Well,
Ren. If that
They are, but
that looks like a
in
Force
fairness-
Awakens bag. That bag's 9 years
Listen,
old. It has holes in it.
This is from October because I haven't run long distance since October. So you just made me very sad in the reminder of why it's dry. Actually, I was
8
surprised
months.
that there was even anything in here. Yes, it's been a very long time.
There's more of that stuff.
So,
What was that again? I
there's
was
more
talking
goo.
about KY. I wasn't paying attention. What was that stuff?
What stuff?
The stuff you said is very important. GU.
Oh, goo, because it makes you poo. Yeah, that's an energy supplement. It is very, very important when you're running long distance. After you hit 60 minutes, your body starts burning different fats, and it's not good energy. So what you need to do is replenish yourself with this. It has a little bit of a caffeine boost in it too, so it helps with headaches. It's fantastic. I usually have salt chews. I usually have turmeric. And then I'll have some ibuprofen with me too.
Sounds fun.
I have these, so I have my waters right here.
Do you have like a special, like, okay, here's the thing. I have to sticker tag or put a pin or have a lucky keychain dangling off of everything. Do you have something special in there? Like a lucky coin?
I don't know. I think my knife's lucky. I don't know. No,
I'll
I'm
take
not
that.
super. So runners, I think we were talking about this in a different way, but runners are very ritualistic in what we do and the way we do things. The way we prepare for a run, like I'll set all of my stuff out the night before and set it on the kitchen table, including my underwear and socks.
Same.
I have it all sitting there. Yeah.
My wife hates
And
it.
then, what's that?
My wife hates it. I just put it on the kitchen counter.
Yep.
Yep.
But it is.
I'm
It's a
prepping.
ritualistic. It's a ritual. It's prepping. It's a ritualistic thing, and you go about it and you do the same thing every time. You make sure all your shit's charging because I have earbuds. I have to make sure they're charging. I have to make sure my Garmin's charged. I make sure my apps are working. I make sure my phone's charged so I can listen to my music. But yeah, it's a process. But it's pretty cool. And they have waistband ones as well.
Well, yeah, like the utility style.
Yeah. Those are the ones I call the utility pack, not that
So,
one. But
Min has a good question. This is actually something I was thinking about today. You wear underwear when you run?
yes, don't ever wear cotton underwear though,
Why? Cut you like a scissor?
because you sweat and it gets wet and it's just gross.
Sweat and it gets wet and you get gross. That was like the start of a rap song.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
It's like a 3-bar thing. Okay, sorry, we got off track. Back to bears.
Back to bears.
All right, fuck bears. So, well, no, I'm kind of interested in another thing. So you could use like a glide. So do you think there's like women who can't or women that or men that cannot have sex until they run and get the endorphins going? So they choose to use glide to keep the chafing down and then come home and like take me. So they like a double prep, like multitasking.
It's not going to be as smooth when you get home
Obviously.
as when you left. But
Nothing will be.
you don't want to use it inside of your body either. That's not good. They're two different kinds.
Isn't it? Oh, there's a different kind?
Yes, the glide. That's what I was explaining earlier. There's two glides. Both are lubricants. One is for running and one is for intercourse.
Oh, what if you mix them up? Okay.
It would be dangerous.
Yeah. Never.
However, the one for intercourse is water-based, so it's not going to stay on your thighs if that's where you're rubbing it, or in this area, because this is where I usually do. I usually use it for my armpits here, this motion. So
Is that how you run?
Like this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I've watched the
fully
T1000 for too many
Yeah,
years.
fully erect. That would be so funny if you're watching a marathon and Heather runs by like the fucking guy from Terminator 2. That'd be fucking great.
I heard I bounce, or I used to bounce when I run. I used to have this really weird gait where I bounced on the tops of my toes. I had to relearn how to run all over again a few
You ran
years
like
ago.
a balletist?
I guess
Ballerina?
so. It was silly, but if you watch runners, we all run really weird. There's lots of really funny videos out there about the different types of running that we all do.
Never cross the streams. It's a good point. It's a really good fucking point.
Mrs. Keiderman, I have weird arms when I run. Yeah, I think everybody does really weird stuff. It's different for everyone. Whenever I see someone who looks beautiful while they're running, I just kind of want to hit them with the car because it makes me feel sad and inadequate.
Same. What is a guy ballerina called? Is it called a ballerina?
I think that there's a different name for him, actually. If anyone in the chat knows, I'm pretty sure that there's a different name than ballerina.
You'll never find out you run weird if you don't run.
Lovely. That's a very good point.
Or film
And I don't
it,
encourage
like Tom
everyone
Cruise.
to run either. I would encourage everyone to do yoga. It's wonderful for your body, but running is really, really hard on your body, and it takes a lot of effort and dedication and time and many other things.
Unless you see
to
a
do.
bear, bring it around.
Hey, why do you think I run? I'm prepared for the apocalypse, bear, zombies. I've got it all covered.
But
I'm
you're
good to
doing
go.
it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're trying to outdistance a bear. You need to be like you seen.
No, you can't outrun a bear. You can't outrun a bear. In fact, the smartest thing to do with black bear is you can't run from them either. You can't climb a tree because black bear can climb trees. Grizzly bear, the best thing you can do is to play dead.
Wait,
Black
stop.
bear, what you need to do is look really big and yell at them.
Stop. People are taking notes.
That's good.
You're racing through all the bears. So let's slow
okay,
down a sec. What bear? Because everyone's like, don't climb a fucking tree. What bear can you climb a tree to get away from? Because you
typically brown or grizzlies, Kodiaks are the biggest of those. You can climb trees, but that's not saying that they can't climb at all. They are just so large, they're going to have a harder time getting up. Black bears are a lot smaller, so they can just run the hell up for the most part. And some of those get much larger. Some of those get to 300 to 500 pounds. The males do, but the smaller ones, and when they're younger, yeah, they can go right up a tree, and they'll chill up there. They'll come after you. They're just really territorial. Black bear actually tend to be more aggressive than grizzly bear. Grizzly bear are just more defensive if you come into a space of theirs.
Again, don't bounce around too much. This is fascinating. I didn't want to talk about bears tonight, but now I want to talk about bears tonight. Because you guys, Heather's going into bear country. We may never see her again. I've seen movies. So, here's the thing. What do you primarily have there? What type of bears?
Here, black bear.
Okay.
And they don't get as big as they do, like, say, up in Alaska. The ones up in Alaska get pretty large.
Yeah, don't go up there.
The ones that are near our camp, there's some people that live our camp area. There's some people that live around there, and there's other people that hunt in the area too. So they'll set up cams and that kind of thing, and they've caught them on camera. Some of the people that live there around there too, they've had them on their porch. There was a mama with 3 cubs, and they typically keep the cubs for a couple years. So those are the ones you really have to worry about. And then the males, I don't know, they've just started showing up in our local area for the last, I don't know, 3 to 5 years, I'd say.
You have bears just coming to your town?
Well, what happens is there's a lot of logging.
Move.
So a lot of logging up there now.
Go away from there.
It's really depressing. But our area, they don't.
This is like we live near the power plant, or there's a lot of alien abductions around here, or Freddy Krueger lives here. It's like, okay, move.
The bear and the animals? Yes, that's exactly what they do. They move.
No,
and so
you should move because you live near a place where bears just come into your town. Like, that doesn't happen here.
It's fine.
Is it?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine until you're not 16 in the backyard and the bear's trying to kill your dogs and you can't quite push it off the fence.
Yeah. My dad bought property right up there. We don't camp on it, but he's going to build a cabin there.
This is like, I'm thinking this in movie terms. It's like, nah, we ain't going to move.
Listen, this is a selling point.
If we left here, the bears would overrun this town.
One of the houses that Mike, because this up northern Michigan is where Mike and I plan to retire to eventually. And Mike, when he wasn't shopping for campers, yes, absolutely.
Holy shit!
I'm very much more comfortable in the woods. Can
you go further north till you're just in Canada and there's no bears?
Well, yes, but then you'd have to go through the UP, which is the Upper Peninsula, where all the Yoopers live. And yes, Dragon's Pride, bears can smell the menstruation. And I can't tell you how many times I've been menstruating while we have been camping. I was very excited that this year I will not be. So now you all know about my...
Lovely tried to make a California shot that we get a lot of violent ground shaking and fires. Yet we've had no fires near our home. Well, within a few miles.
Yeah, you kind of did. I was worried about you guys a couple years ago. You're like, nah. And this is you guys, everyone. This is what Kai's response to me was. Nah, it's at the freeway, so we're good. And I'm
it's hard for a fire to jump a freeway. It's not.
Okay.
Like, it's a big deal.
I believed you, and I actually was telling Mike this not too long ago, and I'm like, I just kind of believed Kai, even though it sounded insane to me that. There's a freeway there, so they're cool.
Well, and then
I remember that your kids were sent home from school at the time. I remember this.
Yeah,
I was
it's definitely getting worse. But when you think California wildfires, I would say it's worse in like San Fernando, like northern LA, like further up north. Like we do get them around here, but we've had them within a few miles, but they're contained within a couple days. It's not like we're in fear of our house burning down. I would say every 15 years, someone we know has a fear of or 10 years, someone has a fear of losing their home. She also mentioned ground shaking, which I haven't. When I was a kid, we had earthquakes all the time. We don't have them anymore, which is oddly kind of scary. Like the big one should hit us anytime, but we don't have them all the time anymore.
Well, and I think this is what it boils down to too, is what your level of nature's discomfort you're comfortable with. Whatever. I mean, every place you live, there's something. Like some people don't want to come here because I live 15 minutes outside the city of Detroit. People are actually scared. Like sometimes we travel and people will say, "Where are you from?" Well, Detroit area.
I got my all black. I'm good.
I'm like, it's fine. It's really fine.
No, but here's the thing. I can outrun a fire. I can't outrun a bear. By the way, bears can smell menstruation.
Yes. I was just talking about that.
That's interesting.
Yes, they can. And I was saying Dragon's Pride said this. This has happened multiple times while we've been up there camping, and I have been. So I was very excited that this time I will not be.
Miniman said they can still climb trees better than your suburban ass, which is something we don't take into account, which is like, if they come at me, I'll climb a tree, but then you realize you're not in the best shape and haven't climbed a tree since you were 9. And when you climb trees at 9, you pick the ideal one, not the one the bear shows up next to you and you got to climb a pine. You know what I mean? That doesn't have branches for 15 feet. You're not a cat.
Well, I think that's where I am kind of different from other people is I do all those things. And I do all those things because I have this, well, it's kind of just trauma responses to lots of things, but where I need to be prepared for everything. And I've been dreaming about the apocalypse in various forms. Aliens, zombies, nuclear, Holocaust.
Imagining or dreaming?
This is, and in all of them,
imagining or dreaming. Dreaming is like a fetishization. Like, I want that shit to happen. I'm going to prove some shit. Imagining is like, this could happen, and I've really thought about it in depth. Which one? I mean, you got a lot of knives. I got to know.
Which thing specifically? Which
You
nightmare?
You dream about it like you want it to happen, or dream about it like think about it a lot?
I think about it a lot.
Okay.
I don't as much anymore. But I've gotten to the point where I've dreamt about different variations of these things so much, which I think is just my subconscious actually being terrified that these are situations that I don't have any control over. That now when I would have a dream and I'm like, oh God, it's another fucking zombie apocalypse. And I'm just like, all right, time to lock and load. It's time I have to do this shit again. And I have to figure out how to save myself and save whichever member of my family's in the dream. The people that I have to get through, I have to sit there and figure 18 million things out. It's like, this is my brain that will not shut off even when I'm sleeping. And this is regular. This is me like maybe 3 nights a week where I wake up and have some form of dream like that, which I used to tell Kai about all the time, but in really, really broken English.
Like most I've had some like I have like serious zombie apocalypse dreams. I had one with you the other night. It was weird. You were
Really?
you were no help.
That's
like,
a
give
really
me a knife.
bad dream
I was like,
then,
give
'cause
me
I'm
a
the
knife.
person
And you're
you
like, I
want.
left it in my desk, and I was like, God damn it! Doesn't do us any good there.
I have them everywhere. That's the beauty. I have
Not
two
where
in my.
we
I
were.
have a tiny little purse now, and I found a knife in it today. I was excited, and then I looked and I had this pen that actually has a steel rod in it that a friend of mine gave me that you can take to the airport, and it's fine. It's safe. It's not a knife. But if someone attacks you, you can hit them right here in their neck, and it will slow them down enough for you to get away. But it just looks like a pen. It's wonderful.
See, this is the funny thing. I don't need all these weapons. I'm like seriously sick. If somebody really fucks with me, I'm gonna go fucking red and go mental on them. I don't feel like any of these things. But bears, I don't care what you give us. By the way, firearm. I swear to God, can you not shoot a 500-pound bear and it's still gonna come at you?
It depends on what kind of caliber gun you're carrying. I have a 45.
Oh, that was the most
it'll-
condescending way to say that. You literally rolled your eyes. It depends on what kind of fucking gun you have on your car. I can't believe you'd ask me this fucking question.
Well, do you think that I'm just going to
Jesus
sit here
Christ.
and go on and take a gun with me and when it's not going to do any damage? What would be the fucking point of that? Obviously,
Well, I'm talking like a
my
big.
homework.
I've seen movies. They take big guns. It feels like they still come. Like it's not a fucking. It's not an RPG.
Well, they're movies too.
Yes.
But yeah, you need.
Which is
you
my
need a
only
pretty-
basis. Which is why I'm trying to ask questions, and I don't need you to be
All right.
condescending.
I apologize for being condescending to you, Kai.
I can be condescending. So you're a woman. So you have that tiny little thing you put in your like thigh band. Of course you don't. See, don't be condescending. That's what I'm saying.
The thigh band. I don't have a thigh band.
Do you remember like every woman in the 50s just had this little tiny gun? That was the only thing women could
They're
shoot in the 50s.
really awesome. Yeah, it's a one shot. It's a
No,
one
those
shot
are
gun.
great. It's a great
And you
like
can put 'em
sneak
in
it
your
out.
boots,
Yeah,
too.
that's a Michael
still have
Corleone
those.
shot. Don't
They
get me
still
wrong.
have variations
Oh yeah,
of
yeah.
that. Oh,
But
why
I'm not
not?
using that with a bear. What do I use with a bear? Do I
You'd
use a
wanna
Dirty
use-
Harry?
Yes, actually, Mike has a gun that's similar to that. It's a 44. It's massive. It's huge. He jokes sometimes that he uses it for self-defense. I'm like, what do you want to do? Do you want to shoot the person that's breaking into the neighbor's house? Because
Yeah.
you could shoot it through our refrigerator and theirs, and it would still blow a hole through it. That was his first gun, of course. And I looked at him like, that's what you're starting with? Come on, guy. But he's very good with gun safety, and he's a really, really good shot. So I appreciate it. But that thing, yes, that will put a hole through a bear. My brother has a 357. That is a pretty solid gun to carry too.
What is Dirty Harry?
Dirty Harry's is a 44 mag, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds right. Okay.
Yeah, I think his is. There's bigger ones out there, obviously, but those are solid pistols that you want to carry. I have a 45 911. It's a Sig Sauer. It's beautiful. Mike got it for me for Christmas a couple of years
There's a lot
ago.
of words I didn't know in that sentence, but I'll go with it.
It's a beautiful gun. My first gun my dad got for me on my 21st birthday party. It was a 9mm Sig. Now that one, the 9mm is a much smaller caliber. That's not going to do anything but piss even a smaller black bear off. It's just going to piss it off. You'd be better off taking your knife and trying to stab it in the eye and wrestling it. It's just not good. The noise might startle it. The noise might, but actually shooting it, it's not going to hurt it. So
Will it piss it off or discourage it?
I suppose it depends on the animal. They're
a case by
individualistic.
case?
Like, yeah, that's the thing. Bear are known for being one of the more unpredictable animals that are out there. So
Next to
you
humans,
don't
am I
know.
right?
Pardon?
Nothing.
You said outside of humans?
I said next to humans, all right. Hey, to the producers out there, can I get another cocktail in the recording room? Thank you.
But yeah, so you want something that's for pistol, and you're going to carry, like, we go on hikes and that kind of stuff. We carry them with us just in case, and we don't have any intention of using them, but we have them there just in case. You never know what'll happen. You could also run into a group of rednecks who have inbred for 20 years and live in a hill. And
that's oddly scarier.
I think it is scarier. I think it's way scarier. If I die by a bear, at least it's nature, and I probably shouldn't have been doing what I was doing or whatever. I can live with that by dying.
Because they can climb trees better than you.
Yeah.
And
they can
bears.
climb trees way better than me.
They live with the bears and have like a whole thing to get away from bears. Bears are like cats to them. They're just like, man, just climb the tree. By the way,
I don't know.
So I would say, like, so outside looking in, I'm not a huge gun guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've shot guns. It's fine.
It's okay. It's not for everyone. And if it's not for you, then you really shouldn't have one.
I enjoyed shooting them. I don't feel the need to constantly brandish one where I personally live. If I went into scenarios like we're discussing, I might consider it. Let's put it like that. And I would go side leg like solo. Second, why I would think, first of all, rifle seems like the thing a huntsman would have, and that's the thing would a rifle kill a bear?
It depends on the caliber, but typically most guns that hunters hunt with, if you're getting larger game like a deer, you're gonna have a 30-06, or I think my brother has a 338.
I love when they
It's
call
a
it
sweet gun. Actually, the first big gun I ever fired was an M1 Garand, and it knocked me right on my ass. It was crazy. But yeah, you're gonna definitely want something like that. But even Mike, when he's sitting in his blind, he has his his pistol. His blind. It's like a tent that they have over you because they're hunting in the deep snow in the wintertime. So anyway,
Heather will never give context, and I couldn't share any with that.
I apologize that you did not know what a blind was. It's basically a little tent that you put over you to help with some of the weather issues, because it can get really fucking cold in November in Michigan and lots of snow. But anyway, when he's sitting there,
there's a lot of cold November rain.
No, there's lots of November snow.
Okay.
Tapeworm says he has that holster Kai.
That's my boy.
Right there. Now you guys are friends.
Yeah.
That's great. And yes, Dragon's Pied. I am an FBI
Here's what
agent.
I've never understood. Like, okay, so I don't like the hip. I like the Western. I like it slightly lower in the hip because I sag my pants, first of all. Second of all, if I pick up a gun, I'm not putting it front. I will shoot my dick off. I'm going crack with it. Am I wrong?
I don't feel comfortable with either of those, to be honest.
I killed him because I had it lower than my hip where it's supposed to be. Took that dude out, but I need his gun too because there's more motherfuckers to kill. I'm putting the gun crack.
I still don't even feel comfortable with that. I don't.
Well, where else can I put it? Pocket?
Well, I mean, it depends on if you have a holster or not. Like,
if it's the tiny gun.
Yeah, tiny guns. I'd be okay in a little purse, a little clutch. That'd be great. If you had a little something in your bra, a little thing on the side, something like that. Yeah, you'd have a clutch. You'd look great with a clutch. You could pull that shit off, Kai.
Something black with this. Let me LBC, little black clutch.
There you go. You look gorgeous.
It's an important thing for one.
But yeah, I mean, there's tons of stuff you can do, but it's really what you're comfortable with. I like the hip holsters. That feels most comfortable for me, which is strange because I can't stand having my pants or anything around my actual hip line. It drives me nuts, which is why I was very upset about the mom pants coming up too. I prefer
if you put that in the front, that's like you just got to rest it between your boobs at that point. I got his gun. Let's go.
I'm gonna shoot my ovary out.
You could literally just rest your chin on the handle. Okay, what about shotgun?
Shotgun, there's 10 gauge, there's 12 gauge.
I know there's different types, but I'm trying to kill a bear. And mine's sawed off because I'm a gangster. So keep that in mind.
Your sawed off is going to be more powerful, but your accuracy is going to be limited.
Obviously.
But still, that I think is also going to depend on the bear. Some will, I think with the grizzly, I don't think you're going to get too much luck there.
What set does the bear run with? That's important.
What scent?
Set. Yeah.
I don't know.
What gangster set? Like,
I don't know.
Are we cool? Do I have problems with the set?
I think so.
This is LA shit. This is
I
the
guess
difference
so,
in
'cause
LA
I
and
don't know.
Michigan.
This is you not providing any context for me. What the
It's
fuck? you're
gangster
talking
shit.
about.
It's gang shit. What set you from, fool?
It's Kelly gang shit. I don't know
where they
any
shoot
of that.
this way.
Other than what I've seen in the videos, dog. That's
yeah,
it.
you've seen videos. There you go. What set you from, fool? What set you from? Rod. Slugs for the shoddy. There you go.
Dragon's Pride said, "Can we talk about recoil? If
No.
you don't brace yourself, you're gonna knock yourself." Yes, that's absolutely. But you shouldn't be carrying the gun in the first place if you don't know how to handle the recoil and you don't know how to handle.
By the
weapon.
way, am I gonna beat myself up if the gun causes recoil while I'm reacting to shooting a fucking bear? No.
Depending on what gun you have you ever seen The Last Stand with Johnny Knoxville and Arnold Schwarzenegger, where that gun flies back and breaks his nose? That could happen with some guns.
I understand that, but if I'm reacting, if I have time, I am positioning myself appropriately to not have recoil from a gun via Johnny Knoxville. By the way, Johnny Knoxville, not the best person to reference when talking about safety in any way.
It was an example from a film that I thought you would understand.
I appreciate that.
I was trying to help out.
This has turned into a fun chat. I don't care if they like it. I'm having
No,
fun.
I don't think they do. I don't think anybody likes my gun talk other than maybe Tapeworm. And he's going to correct me on anything that I got wrong.
Okay, back to bears. So
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
So you feel comfortable going into the woods with a gun, knowing that if you see a bear and bear wants to start some shit, this gun is going to keep you safe.
Yes, 100%. I'm not concerned about that at all. In fact, we have the conversation regularly that because if I put enough rounds into it, it's going to take it down. And we don't usually go out by ourselves. Usually there's at least my brother and I, or Mike and I, or all three of us, my dad, and more than one of us is usually carrying.
What does that mean? What does that mean? You can scatter and trip one of them, or like the chances are less likely because there's four of you?
The chances are less likely because there's four of us with more ammo and more guns.
Oh, so four shots, I'll take it out. Or less likely the bear's going to come around because more noise, more action.
I sincerely don't. I've thought about this and I've ran different scenarios in my head multiple times. I don't really think that the bear's going to stick around anyway because there's usually a group of us together and we're big. And with black bear, that's usually kind of all you have to do is make a lot of noise, at least in our area, make a lot of noise, yell, look large, and kind of do like the alpha shit. And usually they'll turn around and walk away. If you run into a female that has cubs, then you may be in trouble, which means you're going to have to back away. But usually brown bear will chase you down and kill you in that scenario, where black bear, they just want to make sure you're far enough away that they can get their babies and get the hell out.
Heather's Midwest colloquialism.
Colloquialisms.
So this is a 50-50 for me. I'm not sure. You say
what did I do?
You said with black bear. Now I feel like this is the freeway situation where I say the 405, you say 405. I would say with the black bear, you would say black bear.
I was referring to it. No, I was referring to it as like a plural term for the entire community of black bear that we're around.
Okay.
So to speak.
Sorry, then I take this back.
Heather's Midwest
colloquialisms.
Kind of hurts listening to me try to say that word. So
I love it.
So you have black bears. I feel like what is the ass? I feel like the first of all, let me set this back real quick. So bears are the scariest thing in the fucking world to me because there's two things: bears and sharks. I feel like sharks, I have one out. Gouge him in the eye. That's it. But I have an out. Grabs my leg, pulls me under. I can stick a thing in its eye. It's going to be like, oh, I don't like that. I'm going to let you go. Runs away. Bears, what I've been taught by movies and stuff, can't run, can't climb a tree, can't do shoot, play dead, but it's probably going to toss you around like Leonardo DiCaprio. So you're fucked. Okay? So bears scare the shit out of me. Now, saying all that, and shark-infested waters is way more terrifying than encountering a bear. But still, somehow they feel like it's like you can't win. So, what is the asshole of asshole bears? I feel like the polar bear is the biggest asshole.
The issue with polar bear is, and it's good for polar bear, is that they're not around people as much. So there aren't as many interactions. So there's not as much of a comparison in areas where there's heavily populated bears like Kodiak Island you have all those Kodiak grizzlies there, but there's not people there. So they're cool and they're not.
They're like, what up, John? Just taking some photos?
Yes. But it's like any situation where you start moving into an area where there's more of the creatures. Now, we're going to start seeing more with polar bears because the polar caps are melting and they're coming further south.
Yes.
And they're coming closer and closer
And
to
they're not bringing Coca-Cola.
They are not bringing
Nope.
Coca-Cola. I thought it was Pepsi.
Really?
P-S-I-I. Maybe. I don't remember.
You
I guess
thought,
their marketing didn't
well, hold
fucking
on.
work on me.
You thought there was a Pepsi-Cola bear, polar bear, that did a YMCA version of spelling out the soda. Not only did you think that it was the Pepsi mascot, but that he somehow spelled out the words of the thing he's not associated with.
Yeah, I don't remember, obviously.
It's the Coca-Cola bear.
I smoked a lot of reefer when I was young.
All right, and today, based on what I've heard.
Not today. I don't smoke the reefer anymore. I do not like that being talked about when I do not do that.
Same.
Oh, hello and welcome, Roddy TV. This is the first time chat from our viewer, Roddy
Paddington
TV.
Bear. Let's talk about that. Paddington Bear. Why the fuck did everybody go nuts about those goddamn movies? Are they really that fucking good? Because I
I've
couldn't
never
sit through
watched them. No,
Exactly.
I didn't care to see them.
Everyone's like, Paddington's the best movie. I'm like, yeah, but he just wears a raincoat and shit.
Yeah, I don't really care. You know, I liked
Welcome,
Corduroy.
Roddy TV.
That was
Thanks
a
for
little
coming
teddy
by.
bear. Yeah, but I don't know. The bread bug, I found a key but don't know what it's for. Maybe a lockbox, maybe a door, maybe a treasure chest. I'll find out soon enough.
To answer
I
that
always
question,
love
I'm a
research
Winnie the
traffic
Pooh guy.
treasure.
I'm a Disneyland guy, so I'm pro Winnie the Pooh.
I'm gonna go with Winnie the Pooh over Paddington, just on basis of I know Winnie the Pooh, so it's the bear I know.
I'll take the bear over the bear I know over the one I don't know any day. And this is coming from a girl that goes in the woods to camp with bears.
All right, Dragon's Pride answered the question. Not polar bears. They were grizzlies that spelled out the P-E-P-S-I in the YMCA parody. It was
Thank
a
you.
Super Bowl commercial.
There was a
Thank you.
fucking Pepsi parody commercial.
And apparently I remember it, and it was a Super Bowl that I watched.
What year was that goddamn? So Pepsi's like, we got to get on this bear train that Coke's doing. We
Okay,
gotta
you-
fucking get in that bear market.
You know this much, Dragon's Pride. Can you tell us what yearish it was? Because if it happened while I was still working in the
All day,
sports
every day.
bar timeline, then that would explain how I had that bit of information in my brain. But I've been doing the PEPSI for
So you're going into
For
bear
what?
country. You're dealing with bear like black bears. What does a black bear falls where on the scale of asshole? Like what bears are above it being more scary than the black bear?
black bear is best.
That's not really an answer to the question. That's just words that you spit out after I ask a question. What? Like, what? I don't even know how scared the black bear is. You've already said he's smaller. Like, do I need to be scared of black bears? Am I more scared of a grizzly? Am I more scared of I'm more scared of... polar bears freak me out. I don't know why. I've heard stories.
Polar bears are massive. I think
Yeah.
they're even bigger than the Kodiak grizzlies.
Yeah.
They're pretty huge, and they are super aggressive. But I mean, life for them is much harsher up there, and it's pretty terrifying. So I always love watching, Discovery Channel's things on them, but it's usually also equally depressing.
Okay.
But polar bears and grizzlies are the ones I'd rather not run into because it's almost guaranteed death. If they want you dead, you're done. There's almost
Yeah.
no scenario where you're getting
There's
out
nothing
of
you
it.
can do. Right? Does the play... you said the
yeah.
play dead only works on grizzlies? Is that true?
I don't know that it only works on grizzlies, but that's the one that it's recommended for because they don't want to eat dead things. And
See,
that's the
this
thing
is
about most
bullshit.
bears too. Most
Nobody
bears don't.
specified which bear. They just said play dead. So I'm there in a polar bear playing dead, looking like
I
a
would not
fucking
recommend
asshole.
playing dead for a black bear. I just would not do it, Kai. I would not do it. I won't.
Okay.
I won't if I run into one.
Is this like a
I might
personal
freeze
thing,
out
though?
of terror for a moment, but no.
Did you ever try challenging to do a dance fight? Like Guardians?
Like a dance off.
Like,
You know
come
what?
on, bitch.
Then I could do that. I have a wicked fucking cabbage patch. That
And then
I
it
could
busts
bring
into
down.
the Pepsi commercial and fucking shows you down. Takes you
Little
down.
Donut Ice said Ewoks are the scariest bears.
No, actually, he said they're the scariest beats.
That's because he was thinking of bears, beats, and Battlestar Galactica.
Red pandas are cutie pies.
Red
What is
pandas
a
are
red panda?
adorable. They're super tiny little bears with big fluffy tails.
Are they
Are
red?
so cute. Yes, they are.
No, there's
They're
no
they're
red
quite
panda.
tiny too.
Okay, there's one red
They
panda.
have them at our zoo. They
There's
have one
one
at
red
our zoo. They
panda.
has a special paddock.
It's in Pokemon. It's called a Spinda. That's it. I've never seen Pokemon. I've never seen a bear that is actually red and white. Is that correct?
It's really, they are. They're cute. They're absolutely adorable.
Oh my god, everyone's seen this. Like, are you guys all up to date on bears? And I'm having this conversation for my own benefit, which is the point
Yes,
of the whole podcast.
you
So I
are.
don't really give a shit.
But
I'm curious.
everybody is sharing their knowledge, which is plentiful as well.
They look like
which
raccoons?
I'm continuing to wait and hear if someone is going
guess
to.
so do I.
Oh, Mrs. K, spot on. It looks like a fox, bear, raccoon thingy.
Fox bear. I like when you put thingy at the end because
Me too.
you could say like tool rat cat thingy, and
Yeah,
it's forgiving because you put the Y on the end.
Middle-aged old man is correct. They hang out in the trees. They're just little dudes.
Oh, they
and
hang out in the
dudettes.
trees? They
Yeah,
hang
they're
out in the
tiny.
fucking trees? Thank you for that bit of knowledge, goddammit.
But
Oh, the fucking panda thing hangs out in a fucking tree? Thanks, man. Now, I got it
is the
now.
only person
Oh, the red one?
on the planet who is terrified of red pandas. If
Do I
one
play
came up
dead
to
or
me, I'd be
not?
like, hello, my friend. Would you like
If
to
it comes
hug
up and wants to
some
cuddle and I
fig
don't
tree
want
with
to,
me?
do I play dead or do they
shall-
see through that shit? Because
We shall
apparently,
sit down.
I'm really upset that no one ever quantified that playing dead works for these specific types of bears. Like, everyone said play dead. So I lay down and I look like an asshole. Like, the bear's like,
You will. Don't do it for a black bear. Don't do it for a black bear. Part of the other reason with grizzlies too is it doesn't mean that they're not going to attack you. They're going to be less likely to eat you if they're starving because you've been dead for a while, or they won't know that.
They only
But
want to
the
eat you
real-
when you're alive?
Often, yes. Because for the most part, brown bear will attack you if you've somehow intruded on their territory or startled them, or if they're starving. Which is how the grizzly man ended up getting all eaten up. He stayed there too long, and a starving grizzly ended up eating
I didn't
him.
want to go there. That seemed the easy route to talk about grizzly men tonight.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the realistic part. So, and the other thing is, you can't run from them because they're too fast. They could potentially knock down a tree. Some of them can climb
What the
to
fuck?
some extent. It depends on the tree you climb. How sturdy
Okay,
is it?
okay,
Is it an
let's
old
talk about
tree?
that. So
these things weigh
wait.
like 800-900
Time
pounds.
out. So you're not in California. You're not in these smoked out like dry ass trees that are just gonna fall over. So I climb a tree. I'm not climbing one that's 6 feet tall. Obviously, I'm climbing something that's 20, 30 feet tall. You're telling me a bear's
It's
gonna
not
knock
that
down?
easy to climb a tree either.
Well, we've already established that in
Yeah.
minute 20 of the show. Say I get my fat ass up there. What are the odds that a bear's gonna push down a 20 to 30 foot tree?
It could. I don't know. It depends
And
on the tree.
Superman could come down and save me from this car accident, but I'm like, what are the
It's-
odds?
Well, it's also possible that he could just sit down there and wait for you like a graboid until you died from dehydration, like Edgar. That's why he never got down from that poor damn pole.
Duck-billed platypi, it's platypi the weather, are sex gods. I don't know what that means.
I think it's because they can maintain an erection for like a ridiculous amount of time.
So can I.
Nobody believes
So
that
can
today.
Ewoks.
If you have those boner pills we were talking about in the last episode. But I do. I think it's because they can maintain erections for like a ridiculously long time. I don't know why I know that. I've watched a lot of Animal Planet and nature shows since I was a kid.
By the way, my friend Aztec fan is here tonight, and he keeps saying, he keeps talking shit on me in the chat. Cutter Bear's a wimp. Cutter Bear's can't outrun me. I could outrun and beat the shit out of Aztec fan. I just want to state that on the chat. That's all.
Kai, where you live, the bear can't knock the tree over, but they can climb faster than you.
That's true. I've already admitted that. I'm fine with that, and I still
Yes.
love you, Aztec fan.
Yes, it's unless you have guns and you're prepared to and you're somehow ready, the chances of you versus bear are not good.
See, here's the funny thing. I picture myself like we're going camping, all right? So I go in the white room like Neo, and they bring out all the fucking guns, and I'm like, Uzis. I've got this fucking like AK, right? I go out there and I'm like, "Ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da," and it's like, that's not the right gun. You needed one dirty motherfucker that was longer with a way more impact.
You
And
need
I'm just
Arnold's minigun.
and it's like, nah, you skinned my knee, motherfucker.
Okay, so we kind of look like when we're all loaded up with our stuff, we kind of do look a little crazy and intimidating. They look like it's creepy militia.
All right, here's a question for the
I'll
chat.
send you if you guys actually want to see how ridiculous we all look. I'll post a picture on our socials.
Yes, please do that. Question: what is weirder, that he remembered that Pepsi commercial, or that he knew the exact fucking Super Bowl? And it's hard to remember Super Bowl numbers because they're Roman numerals, for fuck's sake. I don't know what half
Yeah.
of them are. Like, after 10, I'm out. Maybe 20. Secondly, that he translated it to Super Bowl 38. Thirdly, that he remembered that was Super Bowl 38. Is that fucking weird? And I like Dragon's Pride, and I appreciate the info, but that's crazy pull.
I sincerely don't know because my level of knowledge about frickin' Super Bowl crap is based on the periods of time that I was present in a bar for them while I was working, which means I was annoyed and pissed off and probably drinking. So I have very limited recollection of
I've never
Super
watched
Bowl
a Super Bowl and said, bring me another water.
Exactly. So I don't really friggin' know. I don't know. But
I'll have
Dragon's
some
Pride
coffee.
seems to be a wealth of knowledge. So apparently that was just one of those random beautiful things.
I'll have some coffee and some of
They knew.
that coffee cake too. Want to make sure I stay up to see the halftime show. It's on at like 7 o'clock.
The halftime
That's
show
on at
isn't
like
that why,
7 o'clock at night.
Like, isn't that though why people kind of like show up? The people that aren't football fans sometimes show up like for the commercials.
I'm just here for the
halftime
commercials.
show.
Shh! The commercials are coming on. We want to talk now because the game's not happening. What's happening? Is it one of your neighbors? Is there a fight happening? Do you need a gun? Do you need a knife?
I don't know. There's
Silly
something
question.
alarming.
Do you
I
need
can hear like real life things in the background. Oh, I think the little guy woke up and I think he's having issues.
Oh.
I was really sick last week, and my littlest dragon, he's come down with the sickness today, and
Heather was super safe through all of COVID and took her mask off for 2 days and got a cold.
outside too, and I'm
That's
fully
not supposed to happen.
vaccinated. Yeah. There's a total boner,
Well,
and not a good
It's
one.
because you don't go to church and Satan hates you. So,
Buttons on your underwear.
what?
I don't know. It's something my mom always
Do
said.
girls have
So
buttons on their underwear? Guys need them because they got to
some
whip that
underwear,
out.
but they're usually the thing with girls' underwear is if there's buttons or stuff on there, then they are not useful in any way.
Could you
They're
imagine a
just there for
G-string
decoration.
with a button in the back?
Oh yeah, they have those.
They
have
no,
all
they
sorts of those.
don't.
Yes, they do.
No, I'm
Because they have,
talking
like,
midway, not on the top of the tailbone.
No, they have. Oh gosh, do you really want to know all the uncomfortable things that they put on G-strings? Because
I cannot imagine there's a button mid-crack on a G-string somewhere.
there's all sorts of weird stuff
But
on
now
G-strings.
I need to know if the thing I said is a real thing.
If it is, I'm sure it is. I'm sure we could Google that shit right now and find one somewhere, and I could buy it. I wouldn't wear it though, because it would be lost in the vast abyss of my crack.
Question for the chat before we get out of here, because it's almost time to end this thing. So
Yes, and I'm told we have big giant storms coming our way right now.
Yes.
Shit is about to get pretty real.
it's raining bears. So here's the question.
It's raining bears. Hallelujah. I got excited.
You got to go into shark-infested waters or bear-infested, pissed-off bear country. What is more intimidating to you? And I'm not talking going camping and there might be a bear. I'm saying you're going in the woods and I'm telling you there's going to be an encounter with a bear, or you're going into the ocean, there's going to be an encounter with a shark. Which is more terrifying?
Honestly, I think the shark for multiple reasons. Number one, the bear is the devil I know. Also on land, both deaths would be horrible, atrocious,
Bear-infested
and painful.
waters.
What
about shark-infested forests?
Wait, minimum said I stay home. You smart. There was a great, hilarious woman who, like her meme blew up because she said something like, I don't go into the ocean because that's where the sharks live. I stay out of the shark's house. And then she said the same thing about bears. She goes, I don't go in the woods because that's the bear's house. I'm food.
This is all fair.
It's true. It's totally true. So I always say that. I would say it's the bear's house. But yeah, I think I don't like the idea of being chewed up while also being drowned at the same time.
That is terrifying. Don't get me wrong.
Seems worse.
Here's my other question. How many people have survived this? We probably don't have this stat. How many people have survived a bear attack encounter versus a shark attack? Because there's a lot of people that survive shark attacks. They're terrifying.
There's more shark attacks typically, but I think there's considerably more shark attacks. But I think that's specific to bull sharks in Australia, and that is because they've started coming into freshwater rivers and they are feeding on people.
There's white attacks and things like that too.
They're just more, and tiger sharks too. Those are typically a little bit more aggressive and will take bites out of humans. But they don't really. What I understand about sharks too. I've watched a lot of Shark Week because it's delightful, right? Sharks don't actually like the taste of humans that much. So sometimes they take a bite and go, "That's not the food I wanted. This is fucked." And sometimes they'll let people go because they think they're seals on their surfboards and
on
shit.
their boogie boards. Their boogies.
Yes. And you even see it with the people who are swimming with them. You can't just go hang out with bear like that, but you can go swim with sharks.
Do you know how to make a board dance? You put a little.
I don't know. I'm still not. I'm boogie.
It's Dad Joke Day for Father's Day. You put a little boogie in it.
Boogie. It was pretty good. I like dad jokes.
Statistics show that 100% of people are scared of both bears and sharks. That's correct.
Little Donut is just knocking it out of the park tonight with the funny.
He can't spell though tonight.
Who cares? I'm less afraid of a shark attack. A bear
No,
attack.
I feel like
Fuck
you
it.
bring
I
your
don't
best
know.
grammar to Twitch.
I'm not going to ever. If I actually capitalize appropriately, then I'm happy. I've gotten so lazy with that over the years that I just don't care anymore. I give up and I fat think for
Sharks
everything
and
when I
bears are
text.
cute. So is
Oh,
everything.
lovely, lovely. I don't know. 100% of people will die at some point.
It's a
in
good
their
fact.
life.
That is like, so I was telling my kids the other day, the 3 greatest movie outtakes of all time: 40-Year-Old Virgin, Talladega Nights, and Spider-Man 2. If you guys have not seen the outtakes for those 3 movies, you need to watch them. And that's one of the lines from Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights had some funny parts. It had
Sure.
some really funny parts. You just brought up one of them.
Which one?
One of their funny parts.
Ha. 1,000.
Shirt your. Oh, that was some bad spelling, but I was figuring it out.
Anyway. Packs of vicious wild dogs roaming
don't know.
neighborhoods.
What would be? I like the shark versus bear comparison though. Those are two completely fair.
Who would
terrifying.
win between a shark and a bear in waist deep water? You got to give the shark a chance.
I feel like.
You got to take some of that agility from the bear. I feel like the shark fucking wrecks it.
I think so too, because I think all he has to do is knock the bear down, and shark can tear right through that pelt. Those teeth are just.
All right,
meant for
now
murder.
Roddy TV says that bed bugs are sexual bastards sexually.
I don't that made no word sense to me.
Well,
Hey,
I threw it out
Roddy
'cause
TV followed us tonight. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Roddy
Roddy.
TV.
By the way, he mentioned the other thing. You had a plethora of knowledge about the red panel, so I thought you knew something about bed bugs too. We know about bread bugs.
We do know about bread bugs.
That's the
They'll
whole
steal
thing.
your treasure. That's what we know. They'll steal your treasure, and sometimes they may bonk you on the head.
So
There
Heather,
are
this
things-
has been
yes.
fucking amazing. This is one of those nights where we had an idea of something we were going to talk about. We didn't even bother because Heather's going to go fucking shoot a bear this weekend.
Well,
So,
and that's one of the things that I do too when I'm running up there. I do have to be extremely cautious because that's one of the scenarios where you sneak up on a bear by accident. But I stay typically on the roads. And
I don't
the
know if
paths,
running
so
up on a
it's
bear counts
unlikely.
and sneaking up on it by accident. Sounds like
it does. Well,
pronouncing
that's-
yourself rudely.
It's hikers and runners often are the ones, at least with the brown bear attacks.
So you
and
run
that
up
kind
doing
of
the
thing.
Pepsi symbol? That might
You know
offend
that
him.
I would try and make friends. I stop and talk to deer when I see them. They run away.
Do you
Nobody
really?
wants to be my
I
friend.
feel like that's true. That's a Heather comment. I feel like that's
It's
true.
so true. We have videos of me. I'm going to share so many videos with you guys. If you want, I am going to put these on our social channel.
It's like
It's
there's like
going
a
to be great.
this is gonna be a good one for fucking snips of the show tonight. I swear to you, you're like, hey Bammy, say hi to your mother for me. All right, so who are we gonna raid tonight? It's time to go eat some dinner. Who are we gonna raid tonight?
I don't know. Let's take a look and see if any of our friends are on.
I just heard a couple
I was
of
going to
the
say it's Wednesday. I have no idea what time
a couple
it
of
is.
the hot tub girls got banned because they were doing ASMR tongue licking. By the way, we're not supposed to sexualize them, but it only increased their OnlyFans following. So go figure.
Goodness. All right, let's
Yeah,
see.
is there
None of
any
our
bears
friends.
in hot tubs? Do we have
Let's
any
see if we can
bears?
find bears in.
I know
hot
we found
tubs.
cats. And that was
Okay,
important.
no bears in hot tubs. Let's just see what we got with bears. We've got Info Bear. That's just a talk show and podcast.
Is
I
it a
think
bear fucking talking?
I don't know what it is.
I don't
there's
care
a
if you can
bear.
understand it. It's wearing a tie and looking at a teleprompter or
There's-
holding a piece of paper. We need to go there.
There's a picture of a bear, and he's in the woods, and it just says Info Bear Talk Show and Podcast. And there's 20 people there right now, so it's a podcast
Yeah,
about.
bomb that motherfucker. Let's see what that's about.
That's where we're gonna go, guys. So
Peace
you tell
out.
them
Welcome, Roddy TV. Thank you to all our regulars. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And let's fucking do some more weird shit on next Sunday with the Milfies. Come on back.
Oh, it's gonna be magical as FUCK, guys. Magical. Okay, I can't wait to go into this raid. Actually, I'm super excited.
Walking up on bears, blasting the Dr.
Make sure you say Bears beat some Battlestar Galactica.
I'm walking
and Black Bears
sidearm on them bears.
And we're off, my friends.
Peace out.
Let's see this place. I really hope it's someone talking in a bear suit.
I do too.
This man looks so. It's InfoWars.
It's what?
This is. It says.
Did you send it to some Republican bullshit?
No. Maybe. It's a picture of a goddamn bear.